Welcome to Section 5, Lesson 1, Dividing Decimals. In this video, we'll be using base 10 blocks to help us divide. Now we'll use the same blocks as we did when multiplying decimals. So we have a flat to help us represent a whole, a rod, which represents a tenth, and then the small cube represents a hundredth. Now, before we divide, I want to go over some terminology. If you have an equation like this, the 5.4 is called the dividend. What you're dividing by, 0.27, is called the divisor. And the answer after you divide is called the quotient. So I'll be using these terms throughout the video. So in the first example, we have to use the base 10 area model to calculate 1 5/10 divided by 3/10. So we'll start by representing the dividend, which in this case is 1.5, using blocks. So we'll have 1 flat and 5 of the rods. Next, we'll arrange the blocks into a rectangle where the height is the divisor. In this case, that is 0.3. Now, in order for us to create a rectangle with a height of 0.3, we're going to need to trade the unit block in for tenths. So let's do that here. So now let's create the rectangle. If I want the height to be 0.3, I would lay 3 rods horizontally. Now I need to take the rest of the rods and fit them into a rectangle. Make sure I keep the height as 0.3. So I can fill in the rods like this. So now the answer, or the quotient, would be the length of the rectangle. So if you look at how long this rectangle we created is, which is 5 blocks, that is our answer. 1 5/10 divided by 3/10 is 5. So let's do that again. I have 2.4 divided by 0.6. So 2.4 would be 2 wholes and then 4/10. And once again, we're going to trade in the 2 wholes for 20 of the rods so that we're able to create a rectangle that has a height of 0.6. So I took 6 of the rods and laid them horizontally. Now let's take the rest to fill in to create a rectangle. So put another 6 next to it, another 6, and then another 6. So what is the length of this rectangle? That is 4. So that is the quotient. So you can use base 10 blocks to help you divide. You can now move on to the next video in this lesson.